Hello, hello. I hope you're well wherever you are. This is Expansions, and I'm Jane, so welcome to now. I hope you're so well wherever you are right now. So, this is our spiritual dimension of wellness, which is my fave. So, I just want to drop in for a second. So, before I start sharing, and hopefully this will land, it's really exciting to me. So, just let's take a couple deep breaths together because we could all use a little bit more oxygen, let's be honest. So breathe in big and let it go. Take another big breath in, however that looks and feels to you. And as you exhale, just let your body soften. Just get really comfortable where you are. And do another one for good measure and for more air in your body. And exhale and just feel where you are in this now moment. Notice the space around you. Notice the weight of your body. Notice the way your breath flows in and out. Just become aware of just everything that's around you. Feel the clothes that are on your body. Hear the noises and sounds around you. Maybe it's silent other than my voice. Maybe you hear a lawnmower or people talking. Just notice it. Just become really aware of your surroundings. Maybe you start to look at it like you've never seen it before. Almost imagining as if someone else, instead of you, placed every object around you for you to discover. Even though you may have been the one to place everything, it was a past version of you, so really it's not who you are in this now moment, although very similar. So just notice everything. Maybe you can see out a window, maybe you can't. Maybe you're out in public and you're listening to this on your phone. Maybe I'm in your ears. Maybe I'm filling the room with the sound of my voice. Maybe I'm on a laptop or a TV talking to you. So take another breath with me and just let it go. Thanks. So something that I wanted to talk about, because spirituality is pretty much anything and everything. And I had a conversation last night that really inspired this. Move the pillows. Oh yes, it's like I'm sitting back, but not. Anyway, so I had a conversation with someone last night that I just thought was magical. And I wanted to share it in a way. So I think oftentimes when we think of spirituality, we think of maybe God source, the universe, creator, the nameless wonder. We think about maybe love, how to show up in kindness, how to forgive. All of these, a lot of spirituality is conceptual and it's a feeling, right? That's the thing about spirituality that a lot of people, I think, kind of poo poo because it's not necessarily something that we would say is tangible. Spirituality tends to be something outside of ourselves, right? And it's something that's so deep within ourselves that it's a part of ourselves that we don't see, that we get to remember or reclaim or act like, right? I think the spiritual path oftentimes is remembering who we are at our core, remembering that I am a part of the one, that I am love in body. And so I feel like this is usually just a nutshell version of what spirituality is. And and I thought, I think that there's a lot of magic to that. There's a lot of magic to that unseen stuff, right? This like unknown, like I don't know what the source of energy looks like, or God, or the goddess, or whatever word you use. I don't know what it looks like. I can tell you what it feels like for me. It may feel different for you. I don't know. I can't tell you what a rose smells like. Can't. I can tell you it smells like a rose. I can't tell you what a cookie smells like. Smells like a cookie. I can tell you parts of the ingredient that it smells like. Oh, it smells like the brown sugar, but I can't tell you what brown sugar smells like. Can't tell you what chocolate smells like, right? But I can experience it and I can really enjoy it. Or not. What if you don't like cookies, right? No judgment. But there's this magical, that to me, that there's something magic to all of that. That we can all have these experiences in the regular daily life. And we can either ignore all the cool magic, amazingness that we are experiencing, that we don't even know we're experiencing until we bring our attention to it. Or we can ignore all of it and still live a regular old life, and that's fine. I like to live a life that's multicolored, multidimensional, multifaceted, bright, changing, new. That's what I like. So I look at things from that lens like I'm looking at it for the first time. Because sometimes things around me don't change, right? I'm not getting a new car every week. I'm not eating a brand new fancy meal every time. Sometimes I eat oatmeal for days in a row, right? Sometimes I eat peanut butter and jelly multiple days in a row. So there's not, and I can add a little something to it. But it's relatively the same, right? A peanut butter and jelly sandwich isn't sushi on an island. I'm in my house a lot, or I'm in this city a lot, or I'm in this region a lot. I don't go out to the west very often. So when I do, my eyes are like, whoa, right? And I'm like soaking it in. And so when we have these new experiences, we do that, right? If you've ever traveled somewhere that you've never seen before, you go and you're like, whoa, right? The colors are different, the smells are different, the culture is different, the art is different, the food is different, everything is different. And we can't not, like, it's just everywhere. But if you're living this regular habitual life, a lot of things don't change that drastically. So for me, I like to take what's common in my life and look at it differently so that it can become a new experience for me, so that my life becomes more rich, more saturated, more experiential, more fulfilling, right? So, you know, maybe, like, look in the grounding meditation when we first started, like looking around your room and thinking, like, what if I didn't place all these things there, but like my higher self did? Hmm. Wow, my past self set all this up for me. Or what if you think about your future self? Maybe your future self set everything up in this room just for you, but appeared to be in the past. So that when you needed that thing, that glass of water, look, it just happened to be right there in reach. I'll take a sip. And then I even go deeper with this. So let's play with this because you might enjoy it, because I do. So becoming so present in our observation and awareness is a different form of a spiritual practice. A lot of spiritual practices are, say, meditative, right? Clear the mind, empty the mind, empty the mind. That's great. Empty the mind all day. Awesome. But I'm here to experience life. Like, I'm here to experience all of it. I'm not here to sit on a mountain for 50 years and be all enlightened. That's not my calling. And there is a big spiritual path that I'm on. And so there's one of the paths that's more of the Tantra path. And that's a path that I've been on for quite a while. And it's becoming very aware of everything that is in this now moment. So, for example, if you have a beverage with you right now, so say you have a glass of water, a cup of tea, I invite you to just take a sip. Just take a sip of whatever you got right now. I'll do it with you. Do it. If you haven't, pause me. Okay, we're back. So you took that sip of, I'm going to say water, whatever that was for you. So you took that sip. Your mouth instantly changed as soon as you put that liquid in there. And now you're thinking about it. So now you're starting to salivate just a little bit more. Just at the memory of the liquid coming in. Maybe you just swallowed because you started to salivate so much because you're remembering that first sensation of when the liquid just went into your mouth. Now, take another sip. Can you feel it? Although it's not in your mouth anymore. Just draw awareness in your memory to the way your tongue moved to swallow the water. How it presses on the roof of your mouth and how it kind of moves back to press the liquid down, and how your throat moves it down, and how it moves down the esophagus, and how it lands. For now, we're just going to stop it where it lands. Then I think, how magical is it that we have a body that knows what to do when we're thirsty, whether you were thirsty or not. That you didn't have to think about how much do I open my mouth to drink this? Right? Do I have to use my teeth when I do this? Do I have to close my eyes? You didn't think about it. I said take a sip and you just did it. You've been doing that your whole life. When you were taught how to drink things as a child, no one said, open your mouth, pour it in the water. Nobody did that. You instinctively knew how to do that. How cool is that? And not only that, right? That you instinctively know how to open your mouth. Your body just does it. Your intelligent body knew what to do. And it just did it. You didn't have to think about it. When you drank the water, that it just didn't pour down your face everywhere, that you're able to manipulate your mouth just enough so that the water literally would go into your mouth and not pour all over you. Sometimes I have a hole in my chin and I dribble. No big deal. We all do that too. I don't know why that happens. That's hilarious. But anyway. So this magic and wonder of, first of all, the fact that our bodies know how to eat. I'll take it from the liquid to the solid. When you put food in your mouth, you chew it. You swallow it. Okay. We do that mindlessly. We don't even pay attention. We're like, "Ah, ah, ah, ah." And sometimes we're like, yeah, that's good. But how often are we doing it and thinking about how magical it is that no one had to teach us how to do this? No one had to teach us how to chew. Like, we instinctively know how to do that. Our bodies do that. And then we'll swallow the food. And then we start making, our body will naturally make an acid, a product in our stomach to break it down even more. Because sometimes we eat in a hurry, so our teeth, we don't chomp the food enough. And our body, our stomach is like, I can't digest all that like that, okay? So I'm gonna break it down so it's a little bit more liquid, okay? And while it's doing that, there are these processes that, like, the things that your body needs, the nutrients, the minerals, the salts, all of that stuff, the fats, your body is like, let's absorb it. And it literally takes those into itself. And then what it doesn't need, the chemicals, the plastics, the herbicides, the glyphosate, all the other shit, the fibers that we are not going to absorb, like all of this stuff. Our body's like, I got you. I got you. You don't have here. You don't have to like throw it back up and deal with it again. I got you. I'm going to go through this tube system. Your intestines and colon and all that stuff. I know I'm skipping some areas, but you get it. But that our body will literally let go of what we don't need. And I know that there are some people that have challenges and their systems are wonky. Like, I get that. And generally speaking, the human body knows what to do. That's magical. The fact that our skin is always regenerating itself with all of the skin that we slough off. Like every time I do this, there's like a billion skin cells that nobody can see that are literally just flying off into the air. How gross is that? Yeah, I guess it's gross. I don't know. It's natural. So I'm doing this, right? The whole time I'm doing this, or my shirt rubs on my skin, or I'm just looking at it and it's just naturally sloughing off because it's growing at the same time, new skin underneath it. It's like a lotus flower blooming. Our entire skin does that all over. That's nuts. That's like, who designed that? What a brilliant concept. What a brilliant idea to say, let's make this thing, let's make a system, we'll call it skin. And it's going to have layers. It's going to have the epidermis, the dermis, and all these other layers. And there'll be a little layer of fat underneath it. And we'll put nerve endings. It'll be so fun. And and it's going to have all these systems in these layers, but let's make the bottom layer come up to the top, and by the time it comes up to the top layer of skin, let the top layer of skin just like peace out, let it just fall off. What an ingenious design. Because otherwise, if we didn't have that, we would have an exoskeleton, right? Or we would have lizard skin and we would have to shed it, right? Because that's what lizards do. We don't have to do that. We don't have to let this top layer of skin get old enough before it's like, okay, and the rest of us grew out of it. And so it just pulls off in this one big long sheet. That's amazing. Our bodies are an infinite place to always look into and at as a miraculous territory of the unknown. There are doctors and physicians and professionals and all of the things that know a lot about a lot of the body, right? You go to an eye doctor, right? The ophthalmologist or whatever. They know a whole lot about the eyeball. They know it, they can break it down. And can and they'll the way that the eyeball like pulls in light, tells the light, and turns light into electrical impulses into our brain that tells our brain what the thing is that we're looking at. Like, do they know that that's magic? That there's a divine energy of a creator that said that's a really good idea. And that creator, we can call it the god, the goddess, the universe, source, uh, cosmic intelligence. It's intelligence, whatever the word is, it doesn't matter. And it's so funny that people get so caught up in the name of it that they stop looking at how freaking magical life itself is. That we are life embodied, that our entire body is running itself, that it is its own life force. We get to be the ones that are aware of it. That is loving awareness. And that's what we are. We are loving awareness. The fact that our brains can see ourselves and think about ourselves and imagine what it looks like if I imagine my bones in my body. I can't see them. I've seen pictures of them. I've seen skeletons. I've seen x-rays. But I can't see my bones right now in this now moment, but I can in my mind's eye. And it's based on x-rays that I've had and images and skeletons that I've seen. But I can imagine it so much that I can even go into like the bone marrow and imagine that. And then I can imagine, oh my God, my bone marrow is making new blood. I have a blood making tube in my body, the bone marrow. We all do. We make our own blood. It's not like we have this however many liters of blood in our body and that's it. You're out. No, we actually we continue to make it. Wow. The only thing that we need that's outside of ourselves to survive is air, right? We don't have enough of that stored in our body. We'll need water eventually. There are people that do dry fasting and they don't drink water or eat for 40 days. It's a spiritual practice. I'm not going to recommend it. You do you. I've done 3-day dry fasts. That's the longest I've done. I know I could go longer. I need to set the time aside to do it anyway. But we don't need anything outside of ourselves to survive, to live, right? Air, some water, some type of a nourishment, right? Just for the energy so that our body has the fuel to do what it needs to do. Like I'm not drinking, I'm not like putting new skin on as my old skin is shedding off. I'm not injecting blood because I cut myself. No, my body's just gonna make more. It's fine. We can, like, our bodies are just magical. So when we think that life is boring or nothing is new or we think we know everything or we don't have anything to talk about with someone, maybe you're in a relationship and you just kind of feel like you don't have anything left to talk about because you've been with them forever. What if you focus on the magic of like the little things of your body? Like the fact that we have nose hairs. What? We have nose hair? What? Who decided that? Oh, but it's going to keep out shit in the air that I don't want to put in my body? Thanks. That's cool. Same thing with our ears. The shape of our ears, that it's literally like this like spiral kind of amphitheater that will literally let us hear things even better. I assume. I don't know. I haven't cut off my ear. I'm not going to do that either, so don't ask. Don't do it either. You don't have to tell me about it. Just putting that out there. The fact that we have the toes on our feet to allow us to be stable and to walk, like to help push us off when we need to jump or stand on our tiptoes, we can make ourselves taller because we have toes. If we didn't have toes, we couldn't stand on them, on our tippy toes to reach a glass up high. If we didn't have toes, everything would have to be shorter. Everything would have to be shorter in our houses. Like the magic of this infinite vessel is, to me, one of the most amazing, miraculous gifts that we get to play with, that we get to learn, that we get to explore, and that we get to work in a loving and kind relationship with all the time. To look at ourselves like, oh my God, this is magical. Why do we have fingernails? I don't know. Why do we even have them? They're like little hard bits. They're like little exoskeletons on the tips of our fingers. Why? I'm down with it. We also have them on our toes. Is it like the original steel toe? So if something does fall, that it doesn't squish our little toesies? I don't know. But I know that when I can look at myself like that, first of all, I can stay entertained for days. True. Um, I just thought about corn, and when you eat corn, how it doesn't matter how much you chew it, you're going to see it in the toilet. That every time mystifies me. I'm like, I know I chewed that shit. What happened? Come on, corn. What? Anyway, when we can, when I can be with myself and look at myself in such wonder and awe, because my life body, it has its own energy. It's doing its thing on its own. So imagine if my body and I were separate and I looked at my body with wonder and awe, right? Just like, whoa. So now say it's a relationship. Now it's you and someone else. It's me and someone else's body. And I'm looking at their body with wonder and awe. Like, oh my God, like, I love your pinky. That's so cool how it does that weird bendy thing. That's so neat. Oh, I love the color of your eyes. Like, that's so interesting that, like, your pupils get bigger and smaller depending on how much light is in the room. If I am looking at a friend or a partner in that way with wonder and awe, I'm going to start, first of all, to love and appreciate them so much more because I see the miraculous nature of just their existence. One. Two, they're going to like that. That's going to feel really good to them. They're going to feel seen and valued and important and magical just because they are alive. Not because of anything they've done or haven't done. They're going to feel really good. One, they're going to love me back. They're going to start to see that in me. They're going to start seeing it in themselves too. They're going to start seeing themselves in the ways that I just showed them. This miraculous nature. Like, look at you, you're so magic. And then they may start to look at me like, damn, Jane, like, you're magic. I noticed that the color of your eyes, that's weird. It's the same brown color as your hair, but it's not. That's weird that whoever designed you chose the same brown palette for your hair, your eyebrows, and your eyeballs. Huh, interesting. You know? And then I'll start seeing that when I look at myself and I'll be like, whoa, look at that. It's the same color palette. So anyway, they'll feel better. They'll respond in love. They'll respond in wonder and awe. Okay? So it's going to help, it's going to make that relationship way more deep, right? Way more fun, way more magical, way more connective. Coming back to ourselves, imagine if I talk to my body that way. My body is going to respond for me. And it's going to be like, oh my God, you noticed? You noticed me? I'm going to work better now because you noticed me. And it's gonna, my body will then treat me better. It'll treat me more kindly. It'll show up when I need it to. It'll tell me things that I need to know or need to hear. So, because I'm forming this relationship with my body, say in wonder and awe, and just like really noticing like the lines on my hands and like what that even means. You know, I don't know what it means. I could go get someone to tell me, right? A palm reader, whatever, I don't know. I can just look at the shapes in it and be in awe that I have these lines and then compare it to my friends. I'm like, whoa, they're so different. Or look, they're the same. But anyway, our body starts to respond and react. So my invitation to all of us is to maybe take the next week or forever or day, whatever, the next 10 minutes, just to sit with the miraculous nature of you. That you are life force energy that works within and with and beyond your physical body. And your physical body is also life force energy. And uniting those in the awareness is the alignment of the body, the mind, and the spirit. That's cool. That's really cool. I think that's really cool. To me, when we have that alignment, our lives just feel much better. It's way easier, way more comfortable. We tend to have more peace in our mind and in our body. So enjoy every bite you take, every drink that you have, every hug that you give, every smile that you make, whether you think about it or not, and maybe you notice that you're frowny facing. Be in awe that you have skin and you have eyeballs that blink on their own so that they don't dry out. That your face can move and morph to reflect feelings that you have. That it just does that. That your heart will pound when it sees something that it loves, or that it even your heart will pound even if you think of someone or something you love. And that your feet will continue to carry you on, and your hands will continue to create. Your heart will continue to love, and your mind will continue to think, and the breath will breathe you. So enjoy this miraculous nature of you because it is such a gift. So thanks for tuning in to your body today and for tuning into this. Please Leave comments. Let me know what you thought. Share this video with your friends, maybe your family, strangers. And remember how loved you are, okay? So take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you next time.